And then here's what I thought was going to be just grisly to watch was Seth Franklin Rollins against Omos. And I got to be honest, this was better than it certainly was better than I thought it was going to be. Is almost getting better, but then again, is it too late now that everybody and their brother have beaten him and you can't do an Andre anymore? This is a rhetorical question, I suppose.
I mean, without spoiling the match, even though, I mean, that's what the nature of this review is. Rollins beat him, but Rollins didn't just beat him. Rollins had to have this guy kick out of the finish twice and had to hit a supersized version of it to beat him.
Yeah, but what I know, but still, what I'm saying is they didn't, when Andre was first unveiled on the United States public, he was fully formed pretty much. It wasn't like you saw him come in as a clunky klutz and then people beat him. And then they never did the thing with Andre. Boy, he's getting better. It's harder and harder to beat him. That was never done.
No, the Hogan match in 87, more than likely for 99% of the wrestling audience, was the first time they ever saw Andre the Giant lose.
Yeah. So because of that, as almost gets better, and he's past almost ready, and he's ready. He can't be undefeated anymore. I mean, you've still got a giant, but gosh, it seems like they've jobbed him numerous times in high profile situations, and that's what else. But anyway, nevertheless, he's getting attitude. He's being able to work the people. The crowd, which would not stop singing, was into this. He pretty much manhandled Seth through most of this, and they were creative in terms of, how Seth could come back or do whatever, and almost never took a bump. And then finally, like, Seth hits a dive and he doesn't go down, and he tries a second one, but he catches Seth with a choke slam and pressed him back in over the top rope from the floor. And they went back and forth as best they could, with a guy that's that size, but they got some decent false finishes out of it. A foiled curb stomp by Seth led to a choke slam and a 2 count, and Seth then went to try the sleeper to see if he could put him to sleep, and he could get him down to a knee, but then, almost would break it up. And then finally, they missed one shot, I think, to the point where the announcers didn't even realize it happened. But when they had done something, MVP jumped up on the apron of the ring to draw the referee, but he had slid the cane in. And the announcers never saw it, and you really didn't see a camera shot of it until Seth hit the curb stomp as Omos was trying to get the cane or had the cane or whatever, and it flew out of the ring. And then another curb stomp for a 2 count, and then he went to the top rope, and it took a while, but it was it worked here in that he was milking it. Boy, if he hits this one from the top, and then he hit that one from the top, boom, 1, 2, 3. So it wasn't a bad match at all. The finish may have dragged just a bit, but with a guy that big, you're at a little bit of a slower pace. So I was pleasantly surprised, at least.
I thought this was good. It was smartly done considering the limitations of Omos, and Franklin's great in the ring. You can never take that away from him. I thought he was really, really good in there with Omos. Good match. I mean, to your point, it's a good victory for Seth Rollins and whatever they're going to do with that character. Almost every match I remember Omos in, he's lost.
Yeah.
I mean, you said that before. I mean, Andre, we never saw him lose. Other than a squash match on Raw, I can't remember the last time Omos won. What main eventer or mid-card guy has Omos beat?
I do not know.
I've seen him pin several times. I don't think I've seen him beat anyone. That was, again, not a, here's the jobber of the week on Raw.
I think they just wanted to use him before he was ready. And now they're paying the price for that because they put him in a position where he was, especially a year or two ago, was blah to the point where you couldn't really go any time with him, and you didn't want to sacrifice a big name to a guy that you couldn't really put in for any amount of time. But now as a result, he's getting better, but he's got a bad reputation.
And they said he was 7'3". If Andre was said to be 7'4", say this guy's 8 feet tall, because I'd believe it. I would believe it.
But that's a Vince. Nobody can ever be taller than Andre. I bet you. I bet that is a directive that still stands to this day. I bet that's the reason why he's 7'3" and 403 pounds instead of 424. Anyway,